Jesus taught a suppressed technique that allows human eyes to detect Archons, the interdimensional entities controlling our reality, in under 7 days. The Catholic Church removed it from every accepted Bible. They burned the texts, they hunted the practitioners, but they missed one jar, buried in the Egyptian desert. Tonight, you are not just learning history, you are learning the protocol. But first, you must understand why they fear this technique more than any prayer, any ritual, or any spiritual practice you could ever perform. In the Gospel of Mary Magdalene, one of the Gnostic texts discovered at Nag Hammadi that church authorities attempted to destroy, there is a conversation that reveals the entire control mechanism of our reality. Mary describes a vision in which she ascends through the 7 realms. At each gate, a tyrannical entity, an Archon, attempts to stop her. One of the disciples, confused, asks her a question that echoes through history. How did you see them? How did you know they were there? And Mary answers with a teaching the Church couldn't allow in canonical scripture. She reveals that Jesus taught the disciples to open the eyes that see beyond sight. Not spiritual vision, not mystical perception or imagination, but actual biological seeing with the physical eyes. Because when you can see them in material form, the Archons lose their primary weapon, their invisibility. You need to understand why these entities have worked so diligently for 2,000 years to remain hidden. It is not because they are naturally invisible. They are not ghosts. They are not incorporeal spirits floating in some abstract dimension. They have form. They have mass. They have hunger. They operate in frequencies that are merely offset from the range human eyes are currently programmed to detect. This offset is intentional. It is the foundation of the prison. When the human body was engineered, the sensory organs were limited, capped to perceive only a tiny fraction of what is actually present. Science confirms this, though they don't understand the sinister reason behind it. Your eyes can perceive the electromagnetic spectrum between roughly 380 and 700 nanometers. We call this visible light. Do you realize how small that window is? It represents less than 0.0035% of the reality that exists around you right now. Infrared is here, ultraviolet is here, radio waves are passing through your body at this very second. You don't see them, but you know they are real. The Archons exist in a bandwidth just adjacent to what your eyes can naturally detect, phase shifted just enough to remain hidden, but close enough to feed. Think about the tactical advantage of this. How do you fight an enemy you cannot see? You can stand behind a human, whisper thoughts into their mind, and they will believe those thoughts originated in their own brain. You can trigger emotional spikes, fear, lust, rage, and the human will assume these are natural reactions to their environment. You can attach energetic cords to their spine and drain them dry, and they will simply feel mysteriously exhausted or depressed without knowing why. Invisibility isn't just a defense mechanism for the Archons, it is the harvesting system. But here is what the Gnostics discovered, and what modern neurology is accidentally confirming. The human eye is more adaptable than the control system intended. The mechanism to see them is already embedded in your physiology. You do not need new eyes. You need to hack the software that processes the signal. Vision happens in the brain, not the eye. The eye is simply a lens that captures photons. The brain is the editor. And from the moment you were born, your brain has been trained to filter out specific frequencies. It is an auto-delete function. When raw visual data enters the optic nerve that doesn't fit the consensus reality you were taught, your brain categorizes it as visual noise and scrubs it from your conscious awareness before you even realized you saw it. This is why children often see monsters or shadow people that parents do not. Their brain's filter hasn't been fully calcified by social conditioning yet. This is why cats will stare intensely at an empty corner, tracking a movement you swear isn't there. Their biology does not possess the same reality filter that yours does. They see what is present. You see what you are permitted to see. However, this filter has a flaw. It relies on your central vision, your foveal focus. To understand the technique Jesus taught, you must understand the difference between your central vision and your peripheral vision. Central vision is what you are using right now to read the words on a screen or look at a face. It is sharp, detailed, and analytical. It is connected to the beta brainwave state, the state of the matrix, the material world, logic, and labels. Peripheral vision, however, operates on a completely different neural pathway. It is evolutionary older. It is designed for survival, for motion detection, and for sensing threats in the dark. Because it is less heavily processed by the analytical brain, peripheral vision has access to a wider spectrum of frequencies. It is not as heavily filtered. You have likely experienced this glitch in the matrix already. You are sitting in a room alone. The lighting is dim. In the corner of your eye, you see a shadow move. You see a shape standing by the door. It is distinct. It is real. But what do? You immediately turn your head to look at it with your central vision, and the moment you do, it vanishes. You tell yourself it was just a trick of the light. You tell yourself you are tired, but you are wrong. The entity did not vanish. Your brain switched from the unfiltered peripheral mode to the heavily filtered central mode, and the software immediately deleted the anomaly. You looked right at it, and your brain edited it out in real time to protect your worldview. The soft gaze technique is the method of bypassing this editing software. We are going to train you to stop looking at the world and start looking through it. We are going to teach you how to keep the data from your peripheral vision in your conscious mind without triggering the auto-delete function. Once you override this mechanism, the cloak falls, and once it falls, it never comes back up.
The environment, setting the trap. You cannot simply walk outside at noon and expect to see them. Not yet. Your brain's filter is too strong, and the visible light spectrum is too dominant. To deactivate the filter, you must create an environment that forces your brain to rely on peripheral data. You need a controlled space. Step 1. The lighting. Do not practice in total darkness. This is a common mistake. In total darkness, your eyes have zero reference points and your brain simply shuts down visual processing. Conversely, bright artificial light locks you into the beta state, the matrix frequency, where the filter is strongest. You need liminal lighting, dim enough that the corners of the room are obscured in shadow, but bright enough that you can still clearly distinguish the edges of furniture. You want shadows to have depth. Why? Because Archons operate in the contrast. They use the visual noise of shadows as camouflage. By creating shadows, you are giving them a place to manifest. Step 2. The background. Sit facing a solid colored wall or an open space. Do not face a television, a bookshelf with text, or a window with a view. These things contain high-frequency detail. If your eyes latch onto a word or a complex pattern, your central vision will immediately engage to analyze it, and the peripheral gate will close. You need a neutral field, a blank canvas where anomalies can stand out. Step 3, the body. Sit upright. Do not lie down. Lying down signals sleep to the brain, which triggers hypnagogic imagery, dream hallucinations. You need to be hyper-alert. This is not meditation, this is surveillance. The soft gaze technique. Here is the exact method Jesus taught, stripped of the religious metaphors and broken down into biological mechanics. Phase 1. The ciliary release. Focus on a point on the wall in front of you. Now, consciously relax the muscles around your eyes. Imagine your eyelids becoming heavy, but do not close them. Let your vision go out of focus. You know that look you have when you are daydreaming, when you are looking at nothing but taking in everything? That is the state. The image in front of you should become slightly blurry. Phase 2. The peripheral expansion. While keeping your eyes physically pointed forward, shift your attention to the edges of your vision. Without moving your eyeballs, try to see the walls on your extreme left and extreme right simultaneously. This is difficult. Your brain will fight you. It will scream at you to focus on a specific object. It will try to snap your eyes back to sharpness. You must resist. Keep the gaze soft. Phase 3. The anchor. Hold this state for 10 minutes. Do not blink excessively. Let your eyes water if they must. The goal is to reach a state of Ganzfeld effect, where your brain, starved of sharp details, begins to amplify the signal from the subtle frequencies. What to expect? The manifestation. When you do this correctly, you will not see a monster pop out of thin air immediately. Reality unravels in stages. You need to know the signs so you don't panic and break the gaze. First, you will see the visual snow. The air in the room will stop looking empty. It will begin to look like static on an old television screen, millions of tiny vibrating dots. This is good. This means the filter is dissolving. You are seeing the raw energy of the air itself. Second, you will see the heat haze. You will notice distortions in the air, ripples like heat rising from hot pavement. These ripples will move independently of air currents. They are not wind, they are entities moving through the room in a density that is not quite physical, but no longer invisible. Third, you will see the shadows detach. You will look at a shadow cast by a chair, and suddenly part of that shadow will split off and move. It will slide across the wall. This is the moment most people break the gaze out of fear. Do not look at it directly. If you look at it, it will vanish. Keep the gaze soft. Watch it with your peripheral awareness. Let it move. Let your brain accept that it is real. The activation timeline, days 1 through 3. You are going to commit to this for 7 days. Here is exactly what will happen to your physiology during the first phase. Day 1, the resistance. You will sit for 10 minutes. Your eyes will burn. You will feel a headache forming behind your brow. You will see nothing but a blurry wall. You will feel foolish. You will think, this is just an eye exercise. This is the ego defending the simulation. The headache is the neural pathways being forced to work in reverse. Push through it. Day 2, the corner effect. You will go about your normal day, driving to work, eating dinner, and you will see movement in your periphery. Fast, aggressive, something darting behind a door, something ducking under a table. You will turn to look, and nothing will be there. This is the breakthrough. Your practice from the night before has loosened the filter. It is remaining slightly open during your waking hours. You are not hallucinating, you are detecting. Do not be afraid. Acknowledge it. Say internally, I see you. Day 3, the static. During your night practice, the visual snow will become dense. The room will feel electrically charged. You might hear a high-pitched ringing in your ears. This is not tinnitus. This is the frequency of the adjacent dimension. On day 3, you will likely see your first orb, not a dust mote, a distinct, semi-translucent sphere of energy that drifts intelligently through the room. It is investigating you. It notices that you are looking back. This is the point of no return. Once you see the intelligent movement, your brain can no longer deny the existence of the other. The paradigm shifts. But on day 4 is when the real terror begins, because on day 4, they stop hiding and they start reacting.
The timeline continues, days 4 through 7. We left off at day 3, seeing the static and the orbs, but day 4 is when the dynamic shifts entirely. Day 4, the reaction. Up until now, you have been a passive observer. On day 4, the entities realize the quarantine has been breached. You will be practicing the soft gaze, and you will see a shadow form in the corner. But this time, when you lock your peripheral attention onto it, it will not just shimmer, it will move. And it will move in response to you. It might jerk away, retreating into the wall, or, more terrifyingly, it might drift closer to inspect you. This is the reality check. Hallucinations do not have agency. Hallucinations do not know you are watching them. When you see an entity react to your gaze, your rational mind finally breaks. You realize you are not alone in the room. Days 5 and 6, the form. The heat haze solidifies. The brain stops trying to interpret the data as blur and starts rendering the true form. You will not see faces. Archons do not have faces in the human sense. You will see what looks like intelligent smoke. You will see humanoid shapes made of darkness that seems deeper than the lack of light. It looks like a hole in reality. You will see their size. Some are small, parasitic things the size of a cat. Others are tall, looming figures that stand by doorways, their heads brushing the ceiling. During these days, do not engage, do not speak to them. You are simply establishing the line of sight. You are letting them know, I am awake. Day 7, full integration. By the 7th day of consistent practice, the filter collapses. You no longer need the soft gaze to see them. You no longer need the dim lighting. You will walk into your kitchen under full fluorescent lights and you will see them. You will look at your spouse or your children and you might see things near them that you wish you hadn't. The veil is gone. You have regained your birthright. But with this gift comes a terrible burden. Identifying attachments, the parasites. The most disturbing part of this awakening is not seeing the Archons in the corners of your room. It is seeing them on people. Once your eyes are open, you will go out into public and you will be horrified. You will realize that humanity is currently under a massive, silent infestation. You will see the cords. These look like thick gray tendrils connecting the entity to the human host. They usually attach to 3 specific points: the base of the neck, the cerebellum, the solar plexus, the emotional center, or the crown of the head. You will see the riders. These are smaller entities that sit heavily on a person's shoulders, weighing them down. Have you ever seen someone who looks perpetually exhausted, whose posture is slumped, who seems to be dragging an invisible weight? They are. You will see the entity feeding on their vitality in real time. You will see the crown of thorns. This is a specific formation where the Archon wraps itself around the host's head. This is common in people who suffer from intrusive thoughts, extreme anxiety, or voices in their head. The entity is literally overriding their neural firing, whispering impulses that the host thinks are their own. And you will see the feeding frenzy. Go to a bar at 1 a.m., go to a hospital emergency room, go to a political rally. Anywhere there's a high-intensity emotion, rage, grief, lust, or drunkenness. To the normal eye, it is just a crowd of people. To your eyes, it will look like a feeding trough. You will see swarms of them, moving from person to person, drinking the louche, the emotional energy that humans are broadcasting.
You will watch a couple arguing on the street, and you will see an entity standing between them, pulsing with light every time they scream at each other. You will realize the entity is farming the conflict. It is stimulating the anger to produce more food. The burden and the protection. I must warn you, there is a reason this technique was suppressed. There is a reason the church burned the Gnostics. It was not just to control you. In a twisted way, it was to protect you. Ignorance is a shield. When you cannot see them, you are like cattle. You are eaten, but you do not know you are being eaten. You live in a comfortable illusion. When you open your eyes, the illusion ends. You cannot close them again. You cannot unsee the parasite attached to your best friend. You cannot unsee the entity swarming your workplace. You have to live with the truth, and the Archons do not like being seen. Visibility ruins their game. When you look at them, they starve. A conscious human cannot be easily harvested because you can choose to stop the emotional reaction that feeds them. Therefore, once you open your eyes, you become a target. They will try to scare you into closing them again. They will try to make you think you are crazy. This is why you cannot do this without the second half of Jesus' teaching. The soft gaze is the sword. It allows you to attack their cover, but you need the shield. There are specific frequencies, specific internal vibrations that make your energy field toxic to them. There are ways to clear your home so that once you see them, you can banish them permanently. If you have listened this far, you are not here by accident. Your soul remembers what was taken from it. The soft gaze is your first step out of the prison. The 7-day protocol is the key to the cell door. But do not walk this path alone. The danger is real, and the psychological pressure is immense. We are building a community of the awakened, those who have chosen to see. If you are brave enough to attempt the 7-day practice, I need you to make a verbal contract right now. This anchors your intention in the physical reality. Scroll down and comment these exact words. I see them. Do not just type it, feel it. By typing it, you are telling the universe that you consent to the removal of the filter. You are claiming your authority. I see them. And finally, you must subscribe and turn on the bell notification. This is not for the algorithm. The next video I release will contain the invincibility protocol, the ancient Gnostic method to shield your energy body once your vision is open. You do not want to be visible to them without knowing how to defend yourself. The war has always been happening. You were just blind to it. Now, open your eyes. Class dismissed.